Hello and welcome to RoysWire.com reports. Depp vs. Heard. We recap the latest evidence in the libel trial. Johnny Depp is suing his ex-wife Amber Heard for libel in the U.S. state of Virginia over an article she wrote for the Washington Post in 2018. The court is also hearing from friends, family members, and staff who worked with and spent time with the former couple during the 6-week hearing. Key points. The court will finish listening to the recorded deposition of Amber Heard's former friend Rocky Pennington. Witness tears up during evidence. Heard's evidence ends with lawyers' attempt to discredit her. Depp is suing his ex-wife over a domestic abuse column she wrote for the Washington Post in 2018. Heard is countersuing for $100 million. Heard became a hermit during relationship with Depp. Former acting coach says. Amber Heard's former acting coach Christy Sexton is now telling the actress's lawyer Elaine Bredhoff that over the course of her relationship with Depp she became more and more like a hermit and would only leave the house when she needed to. She goes on to say Heard would lose weight when she was stressed and would look skeletal at certain points in time. I remember right before their wedding she had lost a significant amount of weight, to the point that I was asking her if she was eating regularly. She says she recalls one period when Heard was skin and bones and much thinner than she normally was. His voice would carry through the halls of the house. The court is now listening to a recorded deposition from Amber Heard's former acting coach Christy Sexton. She tells Heard's lawyer Elaine Bredhoff that when she saw Heard in 2017, the actress was really driven to do a lot of work and to get to the next phase of her career. Ms. Sexton goes on to say she observed changes in Depp during the time she spent at the couple's penthouse in Los Angeles. Johnny became, I would say, much darker as time went on, figuratively and literally. He would sit in a dark room and the art overall changed, she says. Ms. Bredhoff asks if she ever heard Depp and Heard fighting, and the acting coach replies, I would just hear of him yelling. His voice would carry through the halls of the house, and then I remember one time Amber was trying to get out of the room and then the door shut again, and I could just hear muffled yelling on his part. The lawyer then asks if it is her understanding that Depp had an opinion on what acting roles Heard should take. Ms. Sexton replies, there were a couple of occasions where I heard Johnny say, why would you want to do that type of role? And my woman isn't going to play that type of role. Stuff like that I heard a few times from him. Makeup artist says she does not know how Heard's injuries were caused. Johnny Depp's lawyer Camille Vasquez is now asking questions to Amber Heard's former makeup artist Melanie Iglesias. She asks Ms. Iglesias if she ever saw Depp act in a violent manner, yell, kick, slap, or punch Heard during their relationship. The makeup artist says she did not. Ms. Vasquez says, any injuries that you claim to have seen on Ms. Heard, you don't know one way or another how they were caused. Correct, Ms. Iglesias replies. Ms. Vasquez then draws her attention to the injuries on Heard's face on the 16th of December 2015. The lawyer asks, any information you have about the cause of these injuries came from Ms. Head only? Correct. From the 16th of December. Correct, Ms. Iglesias replies. Heard's former makeup artist says she used really red lipstick to cover up injuries on lip. Amber Heard's former makeup artist Melanie Iglesias is now shown a picture of Heard's injuries from the alleged attack by Depp. Asked by Heard's lawyer Elaine Bredhoff if the picture accurately depicts what she saw on the day she arrived to the penthouse on the 16th of December 2015. She replies, yes. She is then asked what she did by way of makeup to cover up Heard's injuries. We covered the discoloration, the bruises with a slightly heavier concealer, one that has little more of a peach undertone, which I normally don't use on Amber, but peach cancels blue, so I did that under the eyes, she says. Although Amber always has a red lip, it's her signature look. I remember clearly talking that we had no other option that night than to use a really red lipstick to make sure we could cover up the injuries on her lip. Ms. Bredhoff asks, were you able to cover up all the injuries with the makeup you applied and as you described? Yes, Ms. Inglesa says, when I came to the penthouse she had injuries. Heard's former makeup artist says, the court is now being played the recorded deposition of Amber Heard's makeup artist Melanie Iglesias. She is asked by Heard's lawyer Elaine Bredehoft about what she observed on the 16th of December 2015, following the alleged assault by Depp. Ms. Iglesias says she arrived to the penthouse to do Heard's makeup for the Late Late Show with James Corden, which she was set to appear on that day. When I came to the penthouse to do Amber's makeup, she had injuries. She says she had discoloration under both eyes and on the bridge of the nose, and she had what I would call a split lip or something, or her lip. Ms. Bredehoft asks if she recognizes a photo of Heard's head which appears to show a patch of hair missing. Ms. Iglesias says, I remember this because she showed it to us and I looked at it. Heard's lawyer asks, do you recall if there was bruising along the scalp and pus? I don't recall, Ms. Iglesias says. He was holding a very large bottle of wine. The court is now watching the recorded deposition of Elizabeth Mars, who was friends with Amber Heard and her former friend Raquel Pennington at the time of an incident that took place in 2016. She says she visited Ms. Pennington at the Eastern Colombian building owned by Depp on the 21st of May 2016 to assist her in getting ready for a show the next day. Ms. Mars says she heard some commotion that night which felt like it was getting closer before Depp burst through the door. The door burst open and he came in, from my perspective, under the influence of something, drugs or alcohol. She says he was holding a very large bottle of wine, looked like a magnum bottle of wine, which was spilling all over the place. She goes on to say that as Depp opened the door he mumbled, "Get your B out of here." Mr. Mars says, I just remember it all happened very fast. The door slamming, him saying, "Get your B out of here." The wine, his whole being really frightened me, and it almost felt like he was coming towards me from my perspective. Whether he was coming towards me or not, it scared me and I just ran out past him. Ms. Mars says she then went to the penthouse Ms. Pennington shared with her ex-husband and saw Heard. I just remember she looked really upset and disheveled and her hair was a mess. She had a swollen face. She says, my focus was trying to figure out what he was upset about and get him out of the house. Amber Heard's sister Whitney Henriquez is now being asked about an incident that took place on the 21st of March 2013, when Johnny Depp allegedly refused to leave Heard's home. She says she arrived at Heard's home in the afternoon, and as soon as she walked in there was smoke in the air, which was odd. Ms. Henriquez says furniture was askew and there was cocaine in front of Depp. She says she began a conversation with Depp and he drew his attention to a painting by Heard's ex-partner that was on the wall. He was convinced that it was on the wall to taunt him, to tease him, she says. She goes on to say she was trying to get him out of the house because he was late for filming a documentary on the Rolling Stones guitarist Keith Richards. For hours we sat there. I was trying to talk to him, making him feel like everything was okay, just trying to get him out of the house. His assistant kept coming in and out at one point. Ms. Henriquez adds. Ms. Henriquez is asked if she observed any injuries on her sister at the time, and she says her face was swollen and it was kind of red. I thought she had just been crying and her lip did appear to be cut, but again at the time that wasn't what we were trying to do. It wouldn't have been appropriate to talk to her about it. That wasn't my focus, frankly. My focus was just sitting there trying to figure out what he was upset about and get him out of the house. Ms. Henriquez says that after around 4 or 5 hours, Depp agreed to leave the house on the condition that Heard leave with him, which he did. Heard's sister says she accompanied Depp and Heard to the documentary filming and sat in the front of the car with the driver while Depp and Heard sat at the back. She says at some point during their car journey she heard the window open and saw Johnny holding our dog out of the window. Ms. Henriquez says the actor then brought the dog back into the car and was laughing before joking about putting the dog in the microwave. Actress's sister says she saw a couple hit each other in 2015 fight. Heard's sister Whitney Henriquez goes on to describe a fight in which she said the actress and Depp hit each other. Giving evidence, Ms. Henriquez says Heard was shouting down at Depp from a mezzanine over a kitchen in March 2015. Ms. Henriquez says she went to try and calm down her sister and describes how Depp lobbed a can which hit another person in the room before Depp ran up the stairs. Ms. Henriquez says, "I'm facing Amber and comes up behind me and strikes me in the back. I heard Amber say, 'Don't hit my effing sister.' She smacks him, lands one." She adds, Johnny had grabbed Amber by the hair with one hand and was whacking her repeatedly in the face with the other. Depp has previously claimed he never struck Heard and that he was the victim of abuse from his ex-wife. Heard's lawyer Elaine Bredehoft also asks the actress's sister about Depp's use of drugs. Ms. Henriquez says she did cocaine with Depp on a number of occasions and he almost always had marijuana on him. She says she also saw the actor do MDMA and shrooms and once saw him consume a Ziploc bag of unknown pills. He always had cigarettes or rolling papers. He always had a joint on him. If he was in a phase of using cocaine, he would carry around a pill box that had his cocaine in it. She says, Heard's sister says that if Depp took alcohol and cocaine, he would slur his words and go on paranoid delusional rants, but when he was smoking marijuana, he was much more relaxed. Ms. Henriquez then says that when Depp was drinking, he would just get really angry and say horrible things about Heard. It was like watching a slow-motion gunshot. Heard's sister says, now, Amber Heard's sister Whitney Henriquez is being asked by Heard's lawyer Elaine Bredehoft about the changes she observed in her sister. She says Heard was a happy, fun-loving thing always surrounded by friends at the start of her relationship with Depp, but she suddenly stopped sleeping as much and was not as funny or as gregarious as she used to be. In hindsight, it was like watching a slow-motion gunshot. She says, she goes on to say that near the end of Heard's relationship with Depp, she was so physically unwell, and her eyes were sunken in. Ms. Henriquez says, if you put photographs side by side, you would see two very different people, and people that knew her throughout the entirety of the relationship saw the same thing. I have never seen my sister fall so madly for somebody. Amber Heard's sister Whitney Henriquez is now in the witness stand, and is being questioned by Heard's lawyer Elaine Bredehoft. She says she first met Johnny Depp in 2011 and was living with Heard at the time. Ms. Henriquez says she got on really well with Depp when she first met him and goes on to describe the early stages of his relationship with her sister as wonderful. They were incredibly in love. I actually, till this day, have never seen my sister fall so madly for somebody, and things were wonderful. She says, they seemed to really understand each other and get along well, but very quickly this pattern emerged as their relationship went on. Asked about the changes she observed in her sister's relationship, she says, when Johnny was using, there would be a fight. I saw it firsthand. There was always an argument. There was always a period where they weren't getting along, and it seemed to oscillate pretty quickly. He would be sober for a little bit, and then almost as quickly fall off the wagon and start to use or drink, and there would be some blowout, and it seemed to go back and forth frequently. Bizarre writing on kitchen counter. Raquel Pennington's ex-husband Josh Drew is now being asked about an alleged attack that took place in December 2015. He says he and his ex-wife had come back to the penthouse complex on the day of the incident, and Miss Pennington had planned to meet with Heard. However, when Heard did not respond to any text messages, Mr. Drew says the pair let themselves into one of the apartments in the complex to check on her and make sure she was okay. Mr. Drew says when they stepped in, the place was out of order. When we turned the corner, on a section of counter near the kitchen sink, there was something written on the counter. He says, I can't remember what material it was, and to be honest, I can't actually recall exactly what was written, but it was something very, very weird. He goes on to say the message read, always such a fraud, or something akin to that. He is asked if he ever learned who had written the message on the kitchen counter and replies, I'm sure there will be an objection to this response, but I knew it was his handwriting. Asked to clarify if he is referring to Depp, he says, correct. Mr. Drew goes on to say he saw Heard that night and he noticed she had significant bruising on both eye sockets and her forehead was red. There's damage in these apartments. The court is now listening to a recorded deposition from Josh Drew. who is Raquel Pennington's ex-husband. He is being asked about the alleged assault that took place on the 21st of May 2016 at the couple's penthouse complex. Asked if he ever saw Depp smash bottles of wine or break furniture, he says, "No." Mr. Drew says on the day of the incident he guided police officers through Depp's apartments. He claims one of the officers told him, "There's damage in these apartments. Her face is red. If she files a report, we have enough here to go pick him up." Heard did not express financial motivations for remaining in relationship with Depp. Former friend says Amber Heard's lawyer Ben Rottenborn is taking Heard's former friend Raquel Pennington through a series of photographs from the incident on the 21st of May 2016. One of images is a picture of Heard's face, which appears to be swollen and red. Asked if it fairly and accurately depicts Heard's condition that evening, she says, "Yes." Mr. Rottenborn goes on to ask if Heard expressed any financial motivations to wanting to remain in a relationship with Depp, and Ms. Pennington says, "No." Heard's former friend recalls Depp yelling at actress Amber Heard's former friend Raquel Pennington is being asked about an event that took place in May 2016 in her recorded deposition now. She tells Heard's lawyer Ben Rottenborn she was getting ready for an artist craft show in one of the apartments in Heard's penthouse complex when Heard got a message from Depp saying he wanted to come over. Ms. Pennington says Heard went to see Depp in another apartment that is connected to the building, but she later sent a text to her asking her to come over. When she arrived, she says she saw Depp yelling at Heard. He was yelling, I don't remember what exactly he was saying, and she was calling for help, and that had never happened before, saying help me. She says, I went and I cut through the space between the coffee table and the sofa, and I went after him, and he was yelling and yelling, and I put my hands up on his chest and I was like, stop, just trying to calm him down, and he hit my hands away, and so I just went straight over to Amber. She sat down on the couch. She was crying, and I put my body over her, and he came a little bit closer to us, and he was yelling at her to get up or quit crying or something, and he was getting closer and closer. Ms. Pennington says she recalled seeing a ceramic ashtray on the coffee table while Depp was shouting. I was thinking if he gets any closer, I'm just going to pick up that ashtray and hit him with it because he was getting closer to us. Depp's legal team will likely be pulling out all the stops in an effort to discredit Heard at every turn during cross-examination. While many in the court of public opinion have already taken sides, there's no disputing the A-lister's relationship was a toxic one. Johnny Depp's voice, despite being born in Kentucky, growing up in Florida, and, at one point, moving to France, some observers have been perplexed by Depp's British-sounding accent during testimony. Johnny Depp's doodles. Depp appeared to have no interest listening to testimony from his ex-wife. He was seen numerous times passing time by doodling in a sketch pad and passing drawings to his attorney. Prior to taking the stand, Heard was captured in courtroom photos winking at her attorney Elaine Bredehoft as the trial broke for lunch April 18th. In other instances, Heard delivered a hardened stare at Depp as he gave his side of the story on the stand. She also appeared to have heated advice from critics who blasted her outfit selection for court. Johnny Depp recounts infamous defecation incident in court. I could only laugh. But testimony from Depp's sister about their difficult childhood seemed to add credibility to Depp's testimony. Heard drew ire from Depp fans during her testimony. Many took to social media criticizing her testimony as overdramatic. One behavioral analyst observed that Heard wore a Gucci tie and pin just 2 days after Depp wore a Gucci tie and pin, calling the move a power play in an attempt to possibly one-up her ex-husband's style. During her initial testimony, Heard described an alleged sexual assault that took place over the course of a 3-day fight between the couple in Australia in 2015. Depp's team has vehemently denied he ever sexually assaulted Heard. Amber Heard ditches PR team amid ongoing Johnny Depp defamation trial. A spokesperson for Depp said in a statement Heard did indeed deliver the performance of her life in her direct examination. While Ms. Heard's stories have continued to grow new and convenient details, Mr. Depp's recollections have remained exactly the same throughout the 6 painful years since her first allegations were made. The spokesperson said, the truth is the same no matter the environment in which it has been presented. The upcoming cross-examination from Mr. Depp's team will be most telling and will certainly highlight the many fallacies Ms. Heard has now attempted to pass off as fact throughout her convoluted testimony. Blunt witness testimony from Depp's vaping doorman. The couple's former doorman, Alejandro Romero, seemed to steal the show when he provided testimony about what he observed from the couple after the infamous cell phone fight of May 21, 2016, during an explosive confrontation inside their penthouse apartment. Romero and 2 responding police officers said they saw no marks or bruises on Heard's face. Johnny Depp v. Amber Heard, the shocking trial's wildest moments. The building employee testified via video that he often saw Elon Musk at least a few times a week at Depp's penthouse in 2015. The SpaceX founder always visited when Mr. Depp was not at home. Alejandro Romero added under oath, sitting in a parked car and puffing on a vape pen during the deposition. Romero admitted he was sick of the Depp-Heard saga. "I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this court case anymore. Everybody's got problems," Romero said before driving off in his vehicle as attorney questioning had drawn to a close. Happy hour. During Depp's testimony, jurors were shown a photo taken in Amber Heard's house in Los Angeles one morning in March 2013. The image shows 2 glasses of whiskey and 4 lines of cocaine next to a box with a skull and crossbones and Depp's initials on it. "You'd sometimes drink whiskey in the morning," Heard's attorney Ben Rottenborn asked during cross-examination. "Isn't happy hour any time?" Depp replied, prompting a few awkward laughs in the courtroom. Depp initially denied using the pictured box for cocaine, but Rottenborn confronted him with testimony from his 2020 libel trial against the Sun newspaper for branding him a wife-beater when he admitted to using the box to carry cocaine. Depp lost the London case. Unearthed Depp text messages. Depp admitted on the stand that he texted pal Paul Bettany about drowning and burning then-girlfriend Amber Heard. "After you said, 'Let's drown her before we burn her,' you said I will F.K. her burnt corpse afterwards to make sure she's dead," attorney Ben Rottenborn said of a June 11, 2013 text. "Did I read that right?" "Yes, you did," Depp replied. Other text from the actor included an exchange with Isaac Baruch in 2016, telling his friend of 42 years that Heard ruined such a cool life we had for a while, and that he hoped her rotting corpse was decomposing in the King trunk of a Honda Civic. Depp recalls defecation incident. Last month, during Depp's direct testimony, he recounted the infamous defecation incident that has been the talk of social media. He planned to return to pick up a few items while Heard was at Coachella, but his security warned him against it and showed him a photograph of their bed. "On my side of the bed was human fecal matter," Depp recalled. "I left. It was so outside." Depp has previously accused Heard or one of her friends of defecating in the bed, but Heard has denied it, blaming the feces on her teacup Yorkies. "I lived with those dogs for many years," Depp said. "That did not come from a dog. It just didn't." After a blow-up on Heard's 30th birthday in 2016, Depp said he retreated to their Los Angeles home. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell.